Couple things to talk about with Insurmountable. From what I've seen, a lot of people are down on it, and I get it, but the whole goal is to bring out the most out of a weapon, where the value is, and see if it's for you. I think there's a couple good things about it, and I tried a lot of rules for this thing, all of them. And in PvE, I feel it's pretty straightforward, and the Crucible, I fell on something that I haven't used in a long time. Very effective, but not for everyone. We have a new act here, but these are still dropping. They will be dropping randomly after Onslaught. You can focus a tonic if you want it. It's there for the taking. So when talking about where the value is, for a lot of players, they might not see it. And in PvE, I feel it's pretty unique and worth having if you use and value what it has. And in the Crucible, it's niche. Avoid 260 RPM sidearm, similar to Boudica, Lonesome, Swift Verdict. It's got decent starting range, even though it's behind. I mean, these range bands are really clamped, so it's not as bad as it looks. There's great aim assist and other stats. The stats are fine. And as we know, it's more so about the perks. Great origin trait, Dark Ether Reaper. You get downs, shoot the ether charge, overflows the magazine. It's not bad. Helps you flow through encounters, not having to reload. I'm first going to start in PvE, and you're going to be seeing this roll right here for the duration of the PvE gameplay, Repulsor Brace to stabilizing rounds. Why this? Shocker, I know. Well, it looks to be the only Repulsor Brace to stabilizing rounds sidearm. And with something like this, a lot of people go straight to Gerfalcon. I don't feel that's really the case. I mean, when they fixed the detonations, it got a lot better. Remember, Final Blows, it makes enemy explode with a Void Burst. It applies Volatile to enemies within 6.5 meters. There's a 3-second cooldown between activations, and we're at a point where I hope that this gets buffed a little bit more. Maybe a 1.5 seconds between activations, maybe an 8-meter radius. There's a ton of things they could do. Maybe more damage on the initial burst of the void energy, but as it sits, pretty good perk since they fixed it. Sidearms have had a lot of love lately, and I know a couple players that main things like Heliocentric with Heel Clip Incandescent, and I myself use sidearms in a lot of activities. I've talked about that final encounter in the new dungeon. Sidearm with Choir of One and a bait and switch GL. It wrecks, does great, and of course with this, Choir of One would be switched out, but sidearms do pack a good punch now. They're not terrible. With this roll, you have Add Clear, but also an Overshield. With the Origin trait added in, I think it flows really well. You get kills, spread Volatile, get an Overshield, hit the Ether Charge, overflow the mag, keep going. And a roll like this also plays into Prismatic. When you have a Void buff, in this case the Overshield, ability Final Blows grant bonus Darkness Transcendence energy. This is the top roll in my opinion. It's the only sidearm with it. It chunks through things. It's going to be very good when sidearms are a part of champions. I think it's fine. I'm keeping it. But in the end, it's up to the player, because other than this, in the third, we have Lone Wolf, Repulsor Brace, To the Pain, Threat Detector, Attrition Orbs, Demolitionist, Air Trigger. The final column, Destabilizing Rounds, Desperate Measures, One for All, Surrounded, Rampage, Closing Time, Harmony. With the sidearm, you're going to be in close range in PvE, so a role like Surrounded Threat is worth a try. Demolitionist is always great. Air Trigger, One for All. You get fast reloads, 35% more damage, overflowed the mag. All of these can and will work, all within that designed range of a sidearm, but I do feel that the real value is Repulsor Destabilizing. And who knows, hopefully one day it gets a little bit more of a nudge. Until then, it does what it's supposed to do. And not to mention all the things playing into the Void Kit. Volatile rounds, controlled demo on Titan, and many more. For the Crucible, I do enjoy sidearms in PvP. And what I ended up with was a little bit surprising, because I tried all the main things to look for. These have a 0.7 TTK, which is fine. It's great. Ease of use, 3 crit, 1 body, TTK is fine. But here's what I fell on, and for this one, this particular sidearm, it made sense compared to what it has. I'll explain as I go on. It's Lone Wolf Harmony. Harmony doesn't roll too much anymore. I've always liked it, and it's a part of that old school Sturm Drang thing, one weapon plays off of another, but it's in legendary form. You get a kill with another weapon, you have about 3 seconds to switch to it, and Insurmountable is going to deal 20% more damage, and it gets 15 handling for 7 seconds. So it's a really long duration. With the 20% buff, it deals 77 to the crit. That makes it a 3-shot, a 0.47. So with a weapon like this, what you want to do with it, double harmony's the play. And ideally, you're going to find a dominant primary. So in this case, Messenger, as Perpetual Motion Harmony. Like the high impact pulses just stand on their own, nothing really added. Just a wild archetype. You don't really need anything too special. When it's base, I just have Perpetual Motion on it, and it's fine. But you get downs with it, switch to the sidearm. The sidearm can 3 crit, get kills with the sidearm, go back to Messenger. And Messenger with Harmony, it can 5 crit for a 0.6, so you just kind of go between them. It's something I haven't done in a long time, but it is effective. And it kind of depends on the opponents you're playing, what they're trying to do. This is more of a stand your ground, rip them at a distance. When they get close, use the sidearm. And when you get that first kill, say I get a Messenger kill, I'll start searching. I'll switch to the sidearm and start looking for kills. Or if someone gets in my face, down with the sidearm, run around, get Harmony going on Messenger, and start searching that way. There's a ton of weapons outside of Messenger that you could use in that spot. Rufus, Breakneck, Luna, Something New, Round Robin, Autumn Wind, Peace of Mind. There's a ton. There's a lot of weapons, mostly older ones, that have Harmony that you could use instead of, let's say, Messenger. but it made the most sense to me because you pair in Lone Wolf. Harmony also adds in handling, so this thing gets more handling, 20 aim assist, 20 AE, which is great on a sidearm. I thought it was pretty good, and when you compare it to what else it has, like Desperate Measures, you get it down, a ×1, you have the same TTK, just slightly easier. 2 crit, 2 body, no TTK shift. It's kind of more of the same. There's 1 for all on Surrounded. Not really in PvP. We do have Rampage, we have Closing Time. Closing Time was okay. It's not ideal though, because a little bit more range in this clamped band didn't really feel too good. And with Rampage, Rampage 1, pretty much the same as Desperate Measures. No TTK shift, you get an easier time to kill, 2 crit, 2 body. You would need Rampage 2. And when looking at this thing and breaking it down, the base sidearm is fine. It's a base sidearm, the .7. 3 crit, 1 body. You can be in the air. You can spam players down. But things like this with a pretty good damage perk can rip. Lightning fast TTK. So where I felt most comfortable with this particular sidearm, each weapon's different, was using a dominant primary, then switching to this and searching for kills. And since it's double harmony, doing the same thing the other way. And this isn't for everyone, but honestly, from what I found and tried, this is one of the best ways to get the most mileage out of it. And also, if push comes to shove, if you like this archetype, bring out Vestian. Dragonfly kill clip, get a kill, reload 3 taps. I'm surprised I don't see this thing more. It's really, really good. As far as sidearms, it's actually one of the more dominant ones. Maybe if Insurmountable isn't your thing, you want to try a sidearm, bring that out. And real quick, I hadn't done this in years. I usually play hand cannon shoddy or sniper, pulse AR shoddy. So if you want to try this, the sidearm does fine. And with how the special ammo is, just remember that without harmony, procced on any weapon, in my case, messenger or Insurmountable, you're more of a watcher than an aggressor. But when harmony's up, you can go off. You can be aggressive, do your thing. Once I reminded myself of that, it flowed and this type of playstyle did good in the sandbox. Because once you get that first kill, 7 seconds is a long time. In conclusion, PvE and PvP, really niche. It fills a role though. The Void Kit in close ranges for PvE and a switch weapon for the Crucible. Is that good? That's gonna be up to you. I think that it does what it does pretty well. I'm keeping the PvE role. I'm going to use that again for sure. The PvP one, I'm keeping for now because honestly, this is one of the better weapons that does this type of playstyle. The .47 is really, really good. But as I said a moment ago, it takes a second to get into rhythm with it. But after trying to get and using everything that it has, I felt that these were the better paths to be successful with it. So try it out. If you're new here, remember to hit the subscribe button. And if you are subscribed, thank you so much for your support. Let's talk about Insurmountable down below, where it fits with some of your favorite sidearms. I felt that most roles could be done a little bit better on other things. I love the origin trait, so it's going to have some play. And the things that I found that it does do well, it does very well. But let's talk about it. Thank you for watching, and until the next one, I am CoolGuy.